third parties in a relationship have been a reason as to why many relationships have broken up. You know, it's not because the relationship wasn't moving on well, it's because there was this third wheel that didn't let it happen. So let's have a conversation on how far third parties should go in our relationships.
You know what's really funny? Starting with myself, my best friend over the years, that is not you. I've also had a best friend who is a male. But I think, no, seriously.
Okay.
But I think for us, our relationship was like really defined. It's just that at some point his wife was like, so some there's a time when we were having dinner and then she popped up.
Right.
But she was so out of the psyche that they are come out. You get what I'm saying? Eh?
So her relationship with her man was being affected by
I don't know if at some point that she thought that maybe, you know, there's something more than this. But, you know, he was like my mentor when I started working. Eh?
Right.
So that's where the relationship came from. So we would meet up, you know, share ideas. And then sometimes when I had challenges with work, I would talk to him. But he's been like... You know,
like your bro.
Yeah.
But except that he was a married man.
Exactly.
Except that he was a married man. Then it becomes an issue. I don't know if I would be comfortable with another female being so close to my husband, period.
That's the thing.
Do you understand what I mean? Like, whether or not there's innocence there, it's likely to create some situation.
Some collisions.
Especially if you're spending a hell lot of time. You see, there's nothing wrong. I don't mind him having female friends, but how much time are you spending with
I think it's the time
friends? And how much do they know about our relationship?
Try the phone calls and stuff.
Try mirroring yourself. Put yourself in her shoes. What would you do? Like the way she walked up to you guys
in that situation.
If you walked up to your man like that, it's only about reactions. Like your reaction will be different from her reaction will be different, depending on the maturity we have. But that part is, to me, I believe that even when your husband or my wife knows about someone, there's a limitation.
Right.
There should be a limitation. I have this one close buddy of mine. She's a girl, but actually take long to talk. But when we talk all silly things.
Right.
And my wife actually knows. But this woman said, if that person calls, I call him PP. She said, if PP calls, anytime it's okay. But ideally, even when she's a woman, there are things I know that I should not cross over.
Now that's where people get the issue. Like she said, the time. There are people who tell their so-called third parties every little thing. They are on the phone. They are meeting up. You know that. You know you're spending more time with this third party than you're spending time in your relationship.
And then also, even if we are friends with Mariam, there are certain things I do not want to hear about her partner. And I'm sure there are certain things that I shouldn't be telling her. When you overexpose your relationship with your friend or with your partner to your friend. We have had so many stories. They used to be friends. Now something happened. They are no longer friends. Maybe Mariam could tell me something, and innocently I end up telling your man because now there are no boundaries. I am a friend to Mariam, but then I'm also a friend to your husband. So then you find that the third party that you have, the common denominator is me. And I'll end up messing your relationship because you have not created boundaries. Therefore, if you have a mutual friend, female or male, in your relationship, you better be careful and create boundaries.
I'll tell you something about third parties. But one thing I really believe, I tell many younger people who are getting married, into marriage, as a woman, your friends are your friends. As a man, my friends are my friends. There should not be crossovers. That's my teaching. Like you stay with your friends. Me as your husband, let me be with my friends.
Right.
No, but there shouldn't be too much connection. Now, this relationship that ended, one of those people I was counseling, she said, my friend, my husband, that's how your husband will call Mariam to ask her about you. Huh?
That's not likely to happen.
When the husband is away, travels, instead of calls Mariam, okay, tell me, who I was lucky yesterday? Well, were you together? Like everything, just it wasn't. But meanwhile, he's just fishing information out of you. So as a third party, I actually told people that third parties should be separated. Friends should not actually be called part of the third party. Third parties are people who are directly involved in a relationship. Your mother can be a wrong third party.
You know, even
my father or your friend.
your siblings,
your sister can be a wrong third party. So how third parties affect relationships depends on what we have given them and what we are giving.
What boundaries that what boundaries you have created in your relationship with the third parties. Because I've had even other stories where a mother is the one now who is creating a lot of curfew because maybe she had her own person that she wanted to get married to the son, and then you get married to a lucky, and it's like, that's not the girl I wanted. So I call her with so that's a mother to make sure that you are out and probably the other one comes in because of that. And if you're not careful and your husband overly listens to the mother, this issue also has to be handled carefully. You might end up losing also your husband because of the way you're handling it. So find ways of creating a boundary. They will have a mother-in-law in our Kamanyiro ends somewhere. They should know that this woman, it's just okay, she doesn't say much. There's beauty in not saying much, especially when it comes to those in-laws.
But
they shouldn't know you that well. You know what I mean? Like you say less because they are in-laws, give them their respect, but also create a boundary.
But you know that even third parties who are friends have taken over people's relationships.
Absolutely.
Because you've let them in on everything. You know, people talk too much. Some of you talk too much. Some of you talk too much about your relationships. Like you don't have a tap on your mouth. Like everything. Even how the man or the woman does you. Oh, he did this, I didn't. You know, he doesn't know how to do this. You know, he doesn't even kiss me. He just goes straight in. You know, you're talking too much. So now you're telling this person, oh, he doesn't even know how to kiss. So this person is like, I should try and see if he doesn't know how to. And at the end of the day, the one who is being told becomes the chief kisser.
Now, I'm telling you, there's this couple. I was teaching couples. This is about sex. And then we had a question and answer. And one lady asked, how do you deal? Like they were writing, I read, how do you deal with a man with a small manhood sexually?
Right.
And I read it out. Now this is how you do a man with a small something. And I started lady said, that's my husband. Very small and it comes very quick. In a group of all friends.
She couldn't contain herself.
She couldn't contain herself because I think it was the question. Someone asked a question that probably she wanted to also ask. The third part, the biggest part about these men come to pick their wife.
And then you see the one they talked about.
Looks at them and it's so weird. The third part is this man's respect has been killed. In your third party, never share anything sexual.
But then also, you have to know which third party I'm telling. Come from a place of how long your friendship or relationship has. Because at the end of the day, much as you don't need the third party, you actually need them sometimes.
Yes.
For the depression that is going on in your relationship, you gotta have somebody that you can talk to about different situations and you know they have your best interest at heart. The problem is, especially women, you trust so easily and so quickly. You met this girl 3-4 years and all of a sudden what your besties and your shit. Do you know what? It doesn't work that way. For example, if I haven't known you for many years,
me too.
I have no business telling you my business like that. I'll tell you a little bit of some depending on how you are, but you gotta be careful with people you have met along the way. Because we meet them along the way and they shall leave along the way. Because the friendship started somewhere. You met somebody at work. Of course, they're work. Some friendships, okay, will move from work, but it's rare.
See, avoiding disagreements here and there. I always thought that as you grow older or stay longer in a relationship, there's something that cannot separate you.
Right.
But recently I witnessed a marriage of over 22 years going separated because of a growing concern that has been on for 22 years.
Right. And they never worked.
They actually fought it together. So what this man did, cut off himself from our family. Because they didn't want
him to get married, to get married to this woman.
But then it's been going on. So for the last 22 years, these people have been dealing with the thing of family not wanting her. Now they're separate. But guess what? This man realizes now that I think my parents were right.
22 years down the road.
23 years down the road.
Down the road.
Exactly. Wow. So that parties might have very strong reasons for what they're telling you. That's why you have to, but that's why you have to, because there's the issues they've been raising are the same issues they've separated from. So what am I trying to say? never take things for granted. The third party or the other person you're ignoring about one, just take a step back and listen carefully about you.
If they have your best interest.
Exactly.
But that's what really matters.
This time this person made his own decision based on what he's been going through for all those years.
Over the 22
years. So the third parties have a play. We should not ignore them. But also watch for their intention, because they hear or know things we don't know about our partners.
Because in most cases you'll be the last person to know about things, but you still gotta be able to control that or to manage that, because in a relationship everyone is trying to work on something.
Exactly.
And if you have a third party, in most cases they are not helping you go through this. So for example, Mariam will be on my side, point blank, period. It doesn't really matter whether I'm right or wrong. Do you understand? So because for her it's a sisterhood, so it doesn't matter what. No, it's just going to be, and it's the same way. Man is not going to have issues with her and I'm going to be on his side. Are you mad? I'm not going to do that. I may not even be able to tell her that. So for me, what she needs from me is support, and she's going to get that. So you need another person who's going to tell you as it is. So I have, for example, a brother or a sister would come and tell me, so that kind of third party, I know that, for example, my brother has my best interest at heart.
Exactly.
If he's calling me out on my BS, then it's real BS. I messed up. And I go on a point of reflection. By that time, my brother has come out and has told me, I will understand. So where do you go if you want to hear the real truth? Matters. I'm not going to go to her to find the real truth. Our friendship is support and love. She might tell me the truth every now and then, but if she sees that I'm hurting, her point is just to get me back into, that positive energy. So I go to my mother and she's like,
There's this gentleman who's been having issues with the wife. The wife brought a very beautiful mate. That's a third party. Dangerous third party. And the man said,
and did she work for 2 days or 1 day?